look out. Here come former SportsCenter anchor Bob Stevens, esteemed basketball coach Rich Basiciro, and Hall of Fame sports writer Curry Kirkpatrick. And someone's going under the bus.
We got a lot of people to throw under the bus tonight. Welcome in. Justin Jarrett is sitting in for Rich, who is still in his Italian villa.
Not watching the Yankees.
As far as we know. No, he's not getting to watch the Yankees. We can throw the Yankees under the bus, though, because their manager, Rich's favorite, Daniel Boone, was explaining, well, we just ran into a buzzsaw known as Toronto, and that's why we lost that series. And then, of course, Toronto loses back-to-back.
Ran into a wood chipper.
The wood chipper.
Well, I think the Yankees went under last week.
Yeah, they did.
They're long gone.
Long gone. So we're down to the final four of baseball, and I think they are three great stories and the Dodgers. And we'll see how it plays out from here. I think I can't imagine the networks loving the idea of a Milwaukee-Seattle World Series or even a Toronto-Milwaukee series. They got to get Milwaukee. They got to have the Dodgers, or this could get ugly. And if it's Dodgers-Seattle, I don't know. I'll be interested, but I'm not sure a whole lot of people east of the Rockies will be.
Well, the games will all start at 11 o'clock at night if it's Seattle, Los Angeles.
No, they'll make them play early for them.
Yeah, they'll have to.
Prime time.
They'll have to. Bob, you're our baseball historian. I want to know your reaction to that play the other night, the Dodgers. The Max Muncy grand slam.
Yeah, that's what it should have been. Any team I root for, the center fielder would have tipped it over the wall, but not who was it? Who did it? Justin
Frelick.
Sal Frelick.
Yeah. Tips it off the wall, and then the calls were all correctly made. The Dodgers just fell asleep, and there shouldn't have been anybody out on the play, and it turns into a double play, and they call it a grounded into double play because it wasn't a fly ball that was caught and turned into it. So it's an 8-6-2 grounded into.
TV got the left field umpire given the safe sign, which I thought was amazing. They went back and looked, and I was watching it live, and I thought that he was out. I thought even if the ball went off I didn't even remember the rule. The ball went off the wall. I thought he's still out, but so did a lot of other people, but including the base runners. But I never saw. Did Teoscar, who's the runner on third, Hernandez, did he start for the plate and then go back, and then he got a late start when he figured out?
Maybe twice he started and went back, and the second time he should have still beaten it. I mean, it was still a reviewable play at the plate. It was a fabulous relay.
The throws were unbelievable. Two great plays.
And trying to get it
so visual. Close, but here it is again, and this is even better in slow-mo. Looks like it could be a grand slam homer or a fly ball out, and it goes off the wall, which makes it a live ball. Great relay by the shortstop, and they got him. And then this is the best part. Contreras just kind of wanders down to third base. He could have thrown it to somebody. Just kind of wandered, I'm just going to touch third here because I think this might work.
I'm not sure Sal Frelick knows what's happening here after he throws it in.
No.
I don't think he has any idea whether he's safe or out, or I'm just going to throw this in the ball.
What a play.
Yeah.
Unreal play.
You teaching that one?
Yeah. You watch baseball every night, you'll see something you never seen before.
Well, it was the oddest play of all time, maybe. And I wish if you switch the names around with these two players, we have Oscar on third, and we have Sal Frelick. If his name was a little bit different, if it was Felix, it would be Oscar and Felix, the odd couple, and they're not playing. That's the way I would have. That's the way I would have drawn it up.
There you go. There you
Oscar
go.
and Felix. There you go.
But and the sad thing from the big story perspective, if Curry were writing it for Sports Illustrated, yeah, you got this great visual. The sad thing was that the unbelievable pitching job by Snell of the Dodgers, as close to perfect as any World Series game has been since Don Larson. 8 innings, he only gave up 1 hit, didn't walk anybody. The one guy who got a hit, he picked him off. So
yeah, I want to get into this. Dave Roberts knows more baseball than any of us would ever dream.
Yeah.
But don't you think about leaving him in for the 9th? I mean, how many pitches has he thrown? 75, something like that.
It was close it was right at almost 100, but it still was.
He was coasting. I mean, he was, and he's so calm. And you're bringing in, your reliever who's been doing great, but he's a rookie.
Yeah,
he's a rookie reliever. And don't you? I mean, I couldn't. I thought he should have left him in for the 9th.
It was 103 pitches.
103 pitches.
Well, okay, but still, he was coasting.
I've seen managers do this entire playoffs, though. The Detroit series, they were always taking starting pitchers out. I thought with a really quick hook or not quick enough, but for the most part too quick. And and I've actually heard some decent explanations for why it might not be a good move in a series like you're playing in the postseason. Some of those pitchers pitched 3, 4, 5 times. Right. In a regular season, you go in, you play a team 3 times. Maybe they have to see your big shot closer twice, but maybe they don't only see him once, and it's hard to adjust to him. But if you see him night after night after night, then
those are usually 1 or 2 pitch guys. Those are not guys like starters that have 3 and 4 pitch mixes that they can keep you guessing.
Yeah, they come in.
They got a money pitch that they throw most of the time, and if you get that
Suzuki, Suzuki's the guy coming in. The other night on a couple nights before, Jeter and Big Papi, who were on the other series, but they were discussing this very thing that the dugout, when a pitcher is doing great and they bring in a reliever route, the other dugout goes crazy. Yes. They love it because they don't have to face Snell again. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
It gives you hope. It gives you hope when a guy's mowing you down.
Yeah. This was Peter and Big Papi saying this, that every time this ever happened, a reliever came in, if a guy was, mowing them down and a relief came, they were so happy. Because
not to see somebody else.
Yeah, not to have to see the guy.
Well, Milwaukee's right back in the series because somebody just hit a home run.
Churio. Jackson Churio.
That might be a leadoff homer then. Oh, I've seen a lot of those in the playoffs.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Is amazing. Yeah, that's Churio.
Yeah, he led off.
He's 20 years old, Curry. He could be our grandkid.
Yeah. The 15 inning game ended on was it a Friday night?
Yes.
No, it was Saturday night. Do you think they flew directly after the game or waited till, I mean, I know they're going charter, but do you think they flew directly after the game?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
To get in, and then they slept.
That way,
and then they slept Sunday. They slept most of Sunday, and then got some batting practice in or something. I don't know. It's amazing. It was amazing.
That's amazing too, and we don't really talk much about that, as how difficult it is to have to go across country,
right,
in the middle of the night after playing. Even though, it's nice. I mean, the planes are nice, and everything is all set up nicely. But man, that's still. And how much did they sleep? Having won a game in 15 innings, you're ready to go to bed after that?
No, you're not winding right down from.
Yeah, my guess is there were maybe the smoking rules were probably relaxed on that charter flight. There were probably a few cigars.
Perhaps. That was an incredible game. Just an incredible game. I think we can throw that Ghost Runner under the bus for good measure. because I hate it. I understand why you do it in the regular season, but I don't like it. I'd prefer we just play the games the way we play them.
Yep,
Played
and
them
that
for
looks like the
200
way.
years.
Yeah, and I like that too. I was beginning to think when they first started this year's playoffs that, gee, you've kind of changed the game. Get it to extra innings, and then we're playing a different game, but you're actually playing the same game. And yeah, I'm with you, Justin, on that. That's nobody goes under the bus for that. I like the idea of the ghost runner during the season, though.
Yeah, it prevents us from getting into those situations where you got position players pitching and goofy situations like that, certainly. So I guess it's a positive in that way, but it just feels weird. Although I've gotten quite accustomed to it. I mean, you see it in college softball.
Sure.
They've got that rule.
Oh, really?
And you see it in youth baseball.
Okay.
You know, if you get in a tie situation in a tournament in travel baseball, they usually go to some sort of tiebreaker. Sometimes it's bases loaded and 1 out, which is really chaotic.
Yeah.
But that's fun.
Curry,
Fun
it's really
scenario.
early, but who's your favorite story? Who's your favorite player coming out of this so far?
Well, I was thinking, after that 15-inning game, I talked to Justin before you got on, that if I was, doing the sidelines, I'm trying to figure out who to talk to after the 15-inning game. There's so many guys, so many great plays, so much happened. And Verducci is wandering around, and then I remembered that most of the guys don't speak English, so he's only got a few guys. But he ended up talking to Big Dumper, who he's got to be one of the most boring interviews in baseball. I mean, the guy, he was nothing after that. He was nothing.
He should have gone to Naylor. He should have gone to Naylor. Naylor's a big personality.
Yeah,
he would have been good. Yeah, I don't know how good Rosarena or Julio's English or Polanco. I don't know about
Julio's good.
Suarez is a character.
Yes,
seems like you see him get hit by that ball.
Oh yeah.
Going back, and it's been since our last podcast, but it seems like it's been forever. But I wanted to talk about the Phillies Dodgers ending of their season. On the throw into the the catcher on the Kirk ring. That was the most sudden. That was an unbelievable game too.
One.
Yeah, game after game. And the thing about that is we can throw the whole city of Philadelphia under the bus for that, because the same night, of course, the Eagles got embarrassed by the Giants at home. And the week before, both teams had also lost. The Eagles and the Phillies had also lost the week before in the same night. So, I mean, the Philadelphia's season's kind of got squelched there in the same night.
Tough time.
I would agree with you throwing Philly fans under the bus too, because now they're talking about having to trade this relief pitcher, because how can he, stay in Philadelphia with all of the stuff, all of the heat he's taken. And they love the kid. He's a young kid who's got a good future.
Well, I noticed that after the game, he answered questions for forever. I mean, he took it. But one of the things he was saying was that their pitchers don't take enough fielding practice. They don't spend enough time on defense. And a couple other relief pitchers came out and said the same thing after the game. That and it makes sense that he has no practicing.
I think that's kind of league wide. I mean, from my
exactly.
understanding, they really hit it hard in spring training, and then they don't really mess with it.
They don't do it.
You think that might change a little bit? The smarter teams.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me, because at every other level of baseball, you spend a lot of time on it because it's really important. And then you get to that level, and especially the young guys. I mean, they get it in spring training, and then. No more.
But it was just heartbreaking to watch the ending of that. The Kirk ring's bent over, and the Dodgers are all running past him out to celebrate. I thought, and then who's his right fielder came in. The right fielder came in.
Yeah.
And embraced Kirk ring and took him off the field.
Ushered him off the field. Yeah.
Ushered him off. He said it was great. He said he said I was not going to let him walk off the field alone. I mean, it was some great stuff after that.
It really was.
Have you ever had to do the post game story with the guy who'd blown the game, Curry?
No, I didn't do. I didn't do my. I've done some basketball stuff. Yeah,
well, but maybe a basketball one where the guy blew the game at the end.
Yeah. It's tough to. It's sad and tough to talk to these people. Although it's a better story than the winner, really.
Sure.
That's what everybody says. But it's tough talking to. Speaking of that, a friend of mine, a Tar Heel, you might know him, Bob. Name is Mark Wicker. He works out of California now. He's been there forever. Okay. He writes a thing every few days just on anything he wants. Yeah. And he had a beautiful. I want to read this to you. He had a beautiful wind up to Kirkring's throw. Yeah. And he said about Kirkring, his winter mornings should be full of one-hoppers into his glove. Enough of them for Kirkring to make the right decision on autopilot next time. And every one of his pitching colleagues should do the same thing. Mark said, without all those comebackers, there's no coming back. What a great line. I mean, that's a great line.
Yeah, you'd like to steal that one.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
A really good one.
Gave me chill bumps. It's a good one.
There you go.
I think the closest I had to having to we didn't write about the guy who blew it necessarily, but I remember a press conference when I was covering Mizzou basketball where Quinn Snyder completely butchered the end of game situation, and then in the press conference literally couldn't recall what the situation was, and Burwell was going after him. Brian Burwell was just kept following up. Like, what do you mean you don't know what the situation? How do you not know the situation at the end of the game? It was uncomfortable. But funny.
Trying to get a coach fired. We got coaches fired in the NFL and in college football. We'll be back to talk about all of that when we come back and throw more folks under the bus. Brought to you by Hudson's on the Docks. Visit hudsonsonthedocks.com. Welcome back to maybe the only sports podcast that didn't lead with James Franklin being fired at Penn State. He was third in the country 2 weeks ago, and now he's just counting his money. Penn State pulls the plug after back-to-back losses to UCLA and Northwestern. Does Penn State go under the bus for this, or do we have to wait until we see who they hire?
I think it was inevitable.
They were 20-point favorites in both those games, right? Yeah. You can't.
The only team to lose as 20-point favorites that anybody can find back-to-back games.
Back-to-back.
There are teams that have done it twice in a year, but not.
Well, here's the problem. I'll let you talk just a minute, but here's the problem. Apparently, at that game, the fans who you normally show up very early at the Penn State home games came late. All the kids came late, and they came and they started chanting when they got there, "Fire Franklin, fire Franklin." That's just a problem. I mean, you've got to deal with that as an athletic director and as an administration. I don't know, I'm not sure you come back from that. Got to let the guy go.
So when were they doing this chanting? Because they were on the road this week, right? At Northwestern.
No. This was a home game.
They
lost to Northwestern at home. Northwestern at home.
I thought it was on the road. That's even worse. But no, it seemed inevitable. It just seemed like it was unraveling before our eyes. And I think we may see more of this in this new era where you decide,
Teoscar just went out.
You decide you're going to get rid of a guy after the season. You do it now because you got to start putting pieces in place to start locking down recruits and make sure guys are staying and all that kind of stuff. You got to give those guys in the room a vision to be able to keep them in house, or you're going to watch your whole roster walk out the door. So, I think they had decided that he wasn't going to be there past this year, and they might as well go ahead and pull the plug.
I got a dark horse guy to go next. I mean, there's a lot of high profile guys that are on the hot seat, but this
your guy,
Luke Fickell at Wisconsin. Okay. They lose last year to Iowa 42-10. And all during spring practice, apparently, Fickle had his players do 42 push-ups after every practice just to remember the 42-10 beatdown. So on Saturday, he plays Iowa at home and he loses 37-0. Now look, his schedule now is Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon. He's got a $27 million buyout. My prediction, next year, Pickle's going to be doing 37 push-ups in the Fox studio or the CBS studio doing the games. I mean, he's got Pickle, no chance.
Oh yeah, and he's a really good coach. He did great things at Cincinnati. B, he's an Ohio State alum, so maybe they lay off him late in the game. And
no, I don't know. What do you think about what do you think about Signetti going to Penn State?
Yeah, this is a good discussion we should have because
Sig. They chant.
Yeah, that it's an obvious move in one sense, but if Signetti's got an athletic director he likes, he's going to get all the money he ever wants. He's got a good situation. He's not a spring chicken anyway.
Right.
Why mess with?
I don't know. I would advise him to remember Brian Kelly, who was leave where he could win all those national
names that they're talking about at Penn State is Brian Kelly.
Well, all props to Signetti for all props to Signetti for doing this in 2 years. What has taken 3 and 4 and 5 years everybody else. I mean, he's got maybe one of the best teams in the country in 2 years. Had a great year last year. But, there's something about this guy.
Going to win at Oregon.
What's that?
Nobody could have predicted they were going to win at Oregon. Nobody did. I can't imagine anybody said, yeah, they're going to go in there and beat the Ducks at Autzen. And I mean, that was just a no way. And
again, props him, but somehow he's very annoying to me. I mean, he did that opening press conference last year where you say, Google me. And now he's living on Google me. Did you watch the game? Sorry, he went ballistic on one play. They had to hold him back. He went out in the field. He went crazy. And then, they had to hold him back from the referees. And then another time he went after one of his own players. He came really close to slapping him. And he'd made some mistake and he brought him off there. He's just very, I'm not sure. He just is annoying to me. And
if I were the Penn State AD, I'd make sure that I liked him. I'd make sure that it was a good fit before I did it. Penn State can have their pick. That's the good thing is they can.
Well, he reminds me.
Matt Rule
makes a lot of sense.
Signetti's behavior and everything really reminds me of another Indiana hero who ended up on the junk heap, Bobby Knight. I mean, that's who he is on the field. I mean, the guy,
a little bit.
So I'm not a fan.
I finally found this meme on Luke Fickle for you, Curry. I thought you'd get a kick out of this. No drama, no cheating, allegations, no scandals, no wins, just dog shit football.
Nice.
Man,
they're going after him. How about your boy though, Curry? Took the bye week up to Nantucket, because everything's under control in Chapel Hill. So he just went to have a little downtime.
Well at home.
So embarrassing. I would have bet he was going to be gone this week from all the stories you read, But then the university comes out with a stupid supportive statement, which he says the same thing.
I thought you wrote it.
I don't know. The thing is, this is not going to end. We have no talent. We have no players. Every game's going to be 35-10. So I don't know what he's thinking.
We've got a local boy from Bluffton committed to the Tar Heels next year, Carnell Warren from Bluffton, and I just keep waiting for him to decommit because it just doesn't seem like a good situation to go into at the moment. But I got a couple other guys. Who said that Drew Aller, a Penn State quarterback, goes down in the fourth quarter? Are we sure he just didn't do that deliberately to get out of this mess so he doesn't have to play the rest of the year? I mean, they let their backup get away. He's at Mizzou
that seemed pretty weird, that one, to me. I got another couple guys in the Big Ten. stay with the Big Ten. Sharon Moore, the Michigan coach, in the run-up to his game against Southern Cal, he said, it was in the Coliseum in L.A. He said the only reason they've sold out the L.A. Coliseum is because we're Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that did the impossible. He made Lincoln Riley look humble. And then Lincoln Riley goes and kicks his ass, of course.
It doesn't seem humility is a common trait among these college football coaches.
I wonder. I was looking for the handshake on that one, but I was hoping that that Lincoln would sing some of My Sharon to him as he left the field. My Sharona. That would have been good.
Oh man, and Lincoln Riley is not far off the hot seat himself. He can get himself.
Well, but they look like they've turned their season around, though, Bob. They look like they've beaten 2 heavyweights there.
If Notre Dame embarrasses them this weekend, though, in South Bend, it could go the other way in a hurry. And I mean, that's the way college football is now. I mean, it's that.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, we're talking about Matt Rule, maybe going to Penn State. He's not that safe at Nebraska. He's got another year or two, but he might.
That's the best thing you can do, right? Is take another job, because that gets you a fresh slate.
The AD at Penn State is the guy he worked with at Temple, so that's a really close relationship.
Didn't he play at Penn State?
Yes, he played there too. Yeah, he's an alum. Yeah. So you got an alum and an athletic director you worked with before. I mean, that's kind of a natural fit.
Hey, how about Auburn? Is their season isn't bad enough, and Hugh Freeze isn't a big enough target? Have you seen what the referees have done to Auburn the last couple of weeks? They when Oklahoma beat them, Oklahoma scored a touchdown. It shouldn't have counted because they had an illegal substitution, which the SEC apologized for the next day. And then last week against Georgia, Auburn is killing Georgia. They're up 10-0 right before the half. And Arnold, the quarterback, reaches over for a tush push to make it 17-0, and everybody thinks it's 17-0, and they call it off. They say he fumbled before he put the ball over the goal line. All the replays showed that wasn't true.
That looked like a touchdown to me.
Yeah. And so Auburn goes from leading 10-0 to losing 20-10. I mean, they didn't score again.
Yeah, it broke.
I'd say poor Hugh Freeze, except he's such an a-hole.
Well, and I think that falls on the coach, because I mean, as a coach in that situation, you have got to preach what you preach every day: next play, next play, next play. We can't change it. Next play, next play, next play. And they were stuck on it for the whole rest of the game. They did not.
That's true. That's true. But the SEC has more splaining to do, I think.
And
it's just not Auburn. The SEC refs have been terrible all year.
Yeah.
It's just,
maybe they took all the Pac-10 refs when the schools from Pac-10 went to the Big Ten.
The Pac-10 refs were struggling. They were really struggling there for a couple of years.
Hey, before we leave, I know we got to go to the NFL. Before we leave college, I switch sports? I just want to switch sports to basketball for a second and throw under the bus anybody that thought it was corny a few years ago when Loyola Chicago produced a nun that became an icon of college basketball. And Sister Jean died this week at 106.
Yeah.
And I met her in when she was 98 at the 2018 tournament.
Yeah.
When Loyola shocked everybody and kept beating C's to get to the Final Four. And what a character. I mean, she was in a wheelchair the whole time. People lined up to go get autographs at the Final Four on the court and in the hotel. And they had, at one point for some reason I had a media pass at that year. And they had a media meeting with her, and it was a line, and we had to kind of walk through a line because it was so long to just say hi and talk to her. And I told her, she won my name, Sports Illustrated. And she said she recognized she had read some of my stories. I don't believe her for a second, but she was such a great. Yeah, she used to give plays to Hunter Mosier on the Loyola sideline. Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't get a lecture. I thought this story was going to go into you getting a lecture on picking on Loyola or doing.
No. She had remembered some stories I had written about on. I did a lot of college basketball, and she was a big fan. But she had a bobblehead. She went on Access Hollywood. Her best line was one guy asked her. He said, Sister Jean, you're a national celebrity. And she said, no, international.
Take that, Kirk, Eddie.
She was 98. Yeah.
Oh, man. We'll come back and we'll throw some other people under the bus. We still got the NFL to deal with. We can throw the Browns under the bus for something they didn't do like about 6 years ago. We'll talk about that when we come back. And again, throw more people under the bus. Brought to you by
Hudson.
Welcome back to Under the Bus. Bob Stevens along with Curry Kirkpatrick and Justin Jarrett sitting in for Rich Basiciro, who is, again, as we mentioned at the top of the show, is still at his retreat in Italy.
Salute to the Giants.
Yeah, indeed. In 2018, the Cleveland Browns drafted Baker Mayfield, number 1. A lot of people thought they were a little crazy at the time because Josh Allen, as it turns out, was about 4 picks later. But anyway, Baker Mayfield debuted that year with the Browns as the 29th different quarterback they had since they came back into existence in 1999. Dylan Gabriel last week became the 41st quarterback. So there have been 12 since Mayfield. They threw Mayfield aside because they, had the great man who shall not be named that they got from Houston and traded 4 drafts for. Mayfield might be the MVP of the NFL right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he is.
Playing great. Yeah.
I think he is right now, and he's doing it without his big name receivers for the most part, and it doesn't matter who they throw in there. They're making plays for him. Whatever happens in the course of the game, he's going to drive them down the field in the fourth quarter and give them a chance to win it. And they look really good. They're down their starting running back. They're down a couple of receivers. Hasn't mattered. They look very good, and he looks incredibly poised. Never would have guessed it.
Yeah, there was a coach fired in the NFL this week, Brian Callahan, who was fired just into his second season. He was 4-19. By the way, Dan Campbell was 4-19, starting out with the Lions.
Really?
And now he's the hottest thing going. And Callahan gets fired. And who do they see this week? The guy they fired in front of him, Mike Vrabel in the New England Patriots. Vrabel has resurrected the Patriots. He was a great coach in Tennessee.
He sure was.
But he was Franklin. He was James Franklin. He didn't win the big one. Couldn't win the big one.
Well, and this is better. I think this is the fourth year in a row that the team that had the number 1 pick in the draft fired their coach the same year.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I got to throw the franchise under the bus. I mean, like, how do you?
The owner, Bud Adams' daughter, is the
you blew it so bad
of the Titans.
You blew it so bad. Why'd you hire that guy if you're already going to fire him?
And they hire. What they've done is they also usually take out the GM too. So then you're learning a new GM who is learning a new coach. They fired the guy who hired Vrabel. They eventually fired, and then that guy hires Callahan, but they fired that GM, and now they've let Callahan go. So now they're starting over. They really need both spots filled, and in the meantime, the team's kind of miserable looking, and yet I don't think anybody wants to give up yet on that quarterback. I mean, do we?
No.
Cam Ward?
No, you can't give up on him yet.
Yeah,
he doesn't have much around him. Name a receiver for them.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
You know,
Well,
like
I did. I
Elik
Calvin
Iomanor, the rookie.
They
Iomanor has been one of their best.
they may, Bob, but they may not be as bad as the Jets.
No,
I mean,
no,
the
they're
Jets,
good.
the latest Jets fiasco
Yeah.
is. I mean, I don't know if you saw this in London. You know,
Atrocious.
the game is close though at the end of the half, and Aaron Glenn, they have the ball with 3.5 minutes left, and Aaron Glenn basically runs out the clock, does nothing to try and score at all. And what's his name is looking for? That got sacked 9 times.
Fields.
Fields.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
looking
not
for a
giving him much
play.
of a chance.
He's looking for a play with about 30 seconds ago. He looks over, and Glenn is just staring at him. And who's the receiver? The Jets receiver went after Glenn as they're running off the field.
Yeah,
Say, what's going on? What are you doing? And Glenn's explanation afterward were he didn't want Denver to get the ball again. What? He didn't want, it's like a 2-point game.
Talking about playing not to lose.
Yeah. And then they asked him, are you anticipating any change in the quarterback? And Glenn got all chippy and all angry. He said, well, what are you talking about? Why would I do that? Well, maybe because Fields got sacked 9 times and he looked like he's in the developmental league. That's maybe one reason. Gee
more
whiz.
sacks than he had completions. Yeah.
Yeah. They had minus 10 passing yards for the game. Minus.
Yeah. And like under 100 total yards, I think.
Just that was awful.
Performance. And they still should have won that game.
And they could have.
Yeah.
Denver was almost as bad. Do the Jets kind of take that stench with them and make everybody play down to their level?
Boy, you didn't think it could get much worse than last year, but it really has. It's
with all the excitement about the Giants last week, we forgot to mention, with the 2 rookies and stuff, we forgot to mention that Brian Daboll went in. Did you see that he went into the medical tent when his star rookie was in there? He went in there like a couple times and he came out arguing with the doctors, and it was like he's going to get fined or something, isn't he? You can't go in there. You can't go in there.
Was that when they thought he had a concussion?
Well, yeah, but he's arguing with the doctors. I thought, it looked like he was given the wrong prescription for his eating disorder, perhaps. Daboll, I don't know what he was arguing. You can't argue about the kid to get the kid in there if the doctor says no.
Right.
I mean,
did you guys? I don't know who goes under the bus for this, but speaking of Jackson Dart, did you see him high five the ref? He got fined $25,000 for high fiving the ref.
He did.
And the ref got fined $1,000 for not flagging him for it. Here we go.
You're kidding. What? I didn't see that. Yeah,
he got flagged. He got fined $25,000 today for the high five to the ref, and the ref got fined $1,000 for not flagging him for it. Which
I love that. I don't
know where I know the ref doesn't go into the bus, because that would have been ridiculous if they gave him a flag for that.
The league goes under. You throw the commissioner right there, right under the bus.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
He should be showing that play. They should make a promo out of that play.
Yeah, that's like the most fun thing that's
along with the refs
ever happened.
Did Dart have anything to say about it? Afterward?
I don't know. I just saw the headline today.
That was today, right? They waited.
Yeah, I believe so.
Today.
I believe so. I just saw the headline today. But
meanwhile,
that was good. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Have you?
It's a good one.
I mean, we've seen a baseball play that we've never seen.
I tell you though, between Dart and Scattaboo, they've got some fun young energy in there. They're at least entertaining and fun to watch, and they were not that last year.
No, that's for sure.
Meanwhile, your boy in the Lions, Brian Branch, he kind of had a different ending to his game. He went,
not my boy.
He slapped.
He wanted to fight my team.
I know. He slapped Schuster with his Smith-Schuster in the face, and then Schuster went after him, and then
without his helmet on,
Pacheco is trying to be like a peacemaker. He's got a hold of Branch the whole time. And then another chief came in and got involved, and then they asked him all afterward. Apparently, Branch said he got blocked in the back, and the refs didn't call it. gee, what, stop the presses.
Fight in the handshake line?
Stop the presses. So he slaps the guy. Oh, and he wouldn't shake Mahomes' hand, right? That was the first thing that happened. And they
that's
asked
when
the
Schuster
Chiefs,
was like scrunched up his face at him, and then he came over and slapped him. So
and then they asked all the guys about it, and Branch did this, Branch did that, and they asked Pacheco, and he said, "Who's Branch?" He said, "It's the guy you were holding the whole time." He didn't even know
Branch,
who it was.
Branch got suspended for a game.
Yeah. Suspended for a game.
Yeah, he got the game.
As he should. Much more
Crazy
egregious
stuff.
than high-fiving the ref.
Branch under the bus, the commissioner under the bus, Jackson Dart and the referee should both get raises.
Might have to throw your Bills under the bus, Curry.
Oh man,
that was sorry performance last night.
They're not looking good. They're not looking good. And how about the other game? Do we put that on? Do we put that on Jaden Daniels for the fumble?
I think you have to
totally turn the game around.
Yeah, that was Derrick Henry-esque earlier this season.
He took responsibility too. He said
all they had to do was run the clock out, and he coughed it up. So it was a great win for Chicago, though. They've really shown some big progress under Ben
Probably
Johnson.
makes up for what happened last year and when the two teams played, when the Redskins or the Commanders got that touchdown there at the end that they had no business getting to win the game. So interesting
story.
Interesting, weird, strange stuff. Anything else to clear the notebooks? Anybody else under the bus?
I think we got pretty much everybody.
Yeah, I think we got them.
All right. We will be back again next week then. We're going to throw some more folks under the bus for sure. We getting Rich back next week or one more week?
Feels like he should be back, right?
I think he's extending. I think he's extending his vacation a little.
They might not be letting him back in. Immigration's cracking down.
That's true.
He gets back in when the Giants make the playoffs. New star of Under the Bus, Justin Jarrett. There we go. All right, guys. Great show. Lots of fun. Plenty of laughs. And we'll be back to do it again next week. Under the Bus, brought to you by Hudson's on the Docks, great seafood restaurant on Hilton Head Island in South Carolina. Again, hudsonsonthedocks.com.